Yo, what's up, man? Good day to you.
Thank you. Good day to you too.
Nice to hear from you today, man.
Um, I thought it was cool how you were talking about dogs, and I'm a little sad that you lost your dog.
I know. That really bums me out, to be honest with you. That guy was real special to me. I don't really have a lot of family either. It's just me and my dad. I shared with y'all. My mama left when she was young. So that dog was very special to me. That was my companion.
You said he went with you around mountains or up around mountain ranges.
In my area that I lived, it's like it was in the middle of a valley. I took my dog all the time hiking in our area. And that guy by himself traversed the whole mountain range, the whole surrounding mountain range that we lived in. That's amazing. Actually, going to the vet when he was a little older, my vet took the hikes away from both of us, and he said, "You guys are taking it easy on the guy. He's old." And I think that's when it hit me, his age. It hadn't hit me until that moment. He died 16 though. He had a nice full life.
That's good. Have you heard
Yeah.
of San Gornio Wilderness Area?
No, where's that at?
It's by Forest Falls, but near like Big Bear, kind of like on the outskirts of Big Bear.
What's it called?
San Gornio.
Gornio.
Yeah, it's a wilderness area. You're not allowed to take vehicles. You can only hike or take a horse.
Yo, let's see where this is at.
And
No, I haven't heard of this at all, actually.
it
And it's out here.
it yeah, and it touches Pacific Crest Trail. I'm sure you've heard of
Ah,
Pacific Crest Trail.
I have. I have. My
Yeah,
father would like. He's been telling me he wants to go and take that. Oh, not too bad.
there's
Yep.
a summit, San Gornio Summit, and at the top of the summit, the tree line disappears. All of a
Is that right?
sudden, it's nothing but rocks and boulders, and I would take my dog up there.
Oh yeah.
Well, I I went up there one time, to be honest, to the top. I've made several attempts to get up there, like with my dad when he was older, and we just couldn't make it up the trail. It was too rocky and too steep. But
Sure.
one day I got the umption to just go, and I actually left from my house in San Bernardino and hitchhiked with my dog. And once I got on the trail, I just spent days making my way up to the summit, and it was amazing, absolutely beautiful.
That sounds like a really nice experience, man. That's awesome. You said it took you a
It
couple days to
was,
get to the top?
yeah, because I had to hike uphill, and I was taking my time. I wasn't rushing anything.
Yeah, just chilling.
I had nowhere to go. Yeah, exactly. And it was pretty amazing because at the very top there was this lockbox with a notebook and a little tiny pencil, and people would write in it like who
That's
they
sick.
were, what the date and stuff like that. And
That's
it
awesome. You
was
get to write your
just
name in that.
awesome.
Come on.
Yeah, so I know my name got recorded up there, but here's one thing that really blew my mind. Somebody left uh, a joint with some matches up there, and at the time I was walking in that way, and I was like, wow, somebody left this joint here, and I could tell though that they took one hit off of it and then put it in there, so it was pretty much a full joint.
That's hilarious.
He, here's
California,
what was
man.
interesting. California. Here's what was interesting. I had my tent and stuff set up a little bit down the hill because I knew I was going to get to the summit and then I could just hike back down to my tent. I got back to my tent that night and I smoked it, and you wouldn't believe what happened. You wouldn't. Maybe you would believe what happened. You're in California. My dog started barking while I was in the tent, and I look out the tent, and there was this black bear. I mean, maybe it
No.
was brown because it was late at night, and I don't know really if we have black bears in California, but
It was
I
something
saw
big.
this thing, and it probably smelled my dog food and maybe even my campfire that I had. So I
Got
I got
curious.
out the tent. and I raised my voice as loud as I could, man, because I was scared, and it took off. It acted like it was more scared of me than I
You
was
probably
of
wasn't
it.
expecting anybody to be there. Yeah, that's crazy.
Right.
What a crazy experience, especially after just keeping
And
that down. Like, what's going on here?
right. And then I guess there must have been campers in the area at some other hikers because they heard me yelling, and they
Okay.
were like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm okay. I just saw a bear." I said, "But I'm out of here tomorrow," and I did. That next morning, I started my hike going back home. But
Oh, that's a good story. I love
you,
that, man. I wonder
you
what that
made
was.
me
I didn't know
think
we had
about
bears
it.
in these mountains. I wonder what that was you saw.
Whatever it was big, and
Caught
of
you off
course, it was
guard.
at night. Yeah, yeah. Ooh,
Yeah, that's a good one. Hey, mind me
but
asking where this trail starts? Where did you go start taking this trail?
um, there's uh, there's a the there's a trail called well, I don't remember the name of the trail because it's all based on the San Gornio Wilderness area, but the base of the trail is at Forest Falls, which is touching Redlands.
I got it right here. I got it pulled up.
Okay,
I'm
and
at
then
the.
there's a creek. There's a creek called Vivian Creek, and you can park your car at the bottom of the mountain, but you can't go no further.
Okay.
And alls I did from the parking area is I literally crossed the creek, and there was a trail. It had a sign on it and everything. I just don't remember the name of the trail, but most of those trails were all labeled something like Sangornio or
And they're all beaten
um,
paths, real visible.
yeah, some of them I think were called like this trail will take you to the summit of San Gornio, and then there were some trails that would lead to another range, another summit. But
Yeah,
see,
what'd
I
you do
was
there? You just
trying to
packed up
make
some.
it to the top.
You just
I
packed
was
up some
trying
camping
for the
supplies and
top.
went. That's all you got to do. You're allowed to just
Yeah,
meander.
I, I'll be honest with you. I was having family trouble, so it was kind of like I ran away, to be honest with you, because my parents didn't know where I went, and I was an avid hiker. I loved hiking Pacific Crest Trail with my dad,
You
and
done it?
so
Wow.
not all of it. I haven't went from Mexico to Canada, but I've done a lot in
Portions of
Wrightwood,
it, sure.
Big Bear, and
That's sick, man.
right
Legit.
there,
That's awesome.
right there in the San Gornio area, there's a part of Pacific Crest Trail that comes to what's called Coon Cabin, and Coon Cabin literally has like the cliffside to where if you're standing on that cliff, you can see, I'd say, Palm Springs and Whitewater out in
Wow,
that
that's
area.
amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah,
What a view, man.
it was intense. And what was really cool was the cabin is for group camping, so normally you have to pay to go there. But I've gone there and I've just spent the night there before, and they got a bathroom there, so it's cool. And the cabin, it you could tell it used to be a ranger station because there's no doors or windows that are in place, but there's a fireplace and there's like two rooms and a large uh like living room, kind of like where the fireplace is, and then right behind it look like two little sheds, like cabin sheds. So at one time I found out it was a ranger station that they turned into a campground.
That's really convenient. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I'd actually really
And
like
I
to check that
noticed,
out.
yeah, they have pictures on it on the internet. Coon Cabin, Coon Cabin, and it's also called Jump Off Point. And I never really quite grasped what that meant until I came to that cliff that's right there facing the Palm Springs and Whitewater. I'm not sure if people hang glided or base jumped or whatever, but on a sign it does say jump off point, and that always made me think like why who would want to
Yeah,
jump
really.
off? People do.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, it's very cool because right there at Coon Cabin, there's a little creek, so you got water, and then it's the Pacific Crest Trail. that goes from Mexico to Canada, and in that area, it'll go either down to Idlewild or it'll keep going up through Arrowhead and Big Bear.
Yeah, nice. Right up the mountain.
And I actually, right now in the high desert, I kind of live a couple miles from Pacific Crest Trail because when
You
it
said you're in
comes
San Bernardino?
down the mountains, well, I'm in the high desert. It's considered San Bernardino County still, but I'm up the hill. I'm up in the high desert where
Up in
you
this area?
still get some cool. Yeah,
Up here?
yeah, yeah. Up there
Yeah,
in the
that's
high
a-
desert,
that's-
kind of like
That's a
kind of
really
like
good
where
spot
the
up there.
V is.
Oh, up here?
Right there where it looks like the flatlands is coming into a V, but a sideways V.
Over here?
Yeah, there's a dike there, a spillway, and Deep Creek comes down there, and Pacific Crest Trail will run down alongside Deep Creek. And there's actually a hot springs up there.
Hmm.
There it,
Running
yeah,
Springs,
towards
yeah.
the mountains. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's cool because you'll have cold water coming out of the mountain. I'm sorry. It's hot water coming out of the mountain into these pools, and right beside the pools is Deep Creek, which is the cold water. So if you
How
wanted to, you
interesting.
could
That's so
jump.
cool.
You could literally jump from the hot water to the cold water if you wanted to.
I didn't even know we had those springs up here. I'd actually like to go check that out. That'd be really fun. Ah, that's awesome.
I would warn some people though.
What about?
Well, clothes is optional, so you'll see a lot of swing. You'll see.
Good. It's a
You'll
natural
see.
pool man. It's expected.
It's expected. Okay, so that's not what I'm warning people about. If there's
Oh
people
man, I
on
thought that was the
live
warning.
or you're live, no, that's probably the reward because I've met some chicks up there.
Yo, nice.
Here's the warning: because it's in the high desert, there can be some weirdos, some cuckoos.
Ah, sure, sure.
Yeah, and
I know these
and
high desert
so
people are a little odd ones sometimes.
they can be, yes, sir.
Yeah.
So I've come across a lot of them that were off the wall and kind of frightened me. Like one time, I'll just leave it right there. Leave it right there.
Oh man.
I'll just
There's
leave
no
it
more
right
to add to the story to top it off. That's hilarious.
I can't, you know.
Bro, that's literally great. Yeah. Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
It's cool.
I'll definitely keep that in mind. I like to
I
check
like
that out
it.
though. Yeah.
And if you notice, there's also Silverwood Lake a little bit further away.
Where's Silverwood Lake?
It's not up in the mountains. It's as if you were coming down and you come through that dike spillway through the desert, and then the trail kind of starts to go back. It starts to go back towards Running Springs, but it literally doesn't. What it does is the trail goes underneath the freeway at a weight station, and as it crosses the freeway, it starts to head up towards Wrightwood. But Silverwood Lake, the trail actually goes to Silverwood Lake. So if you're hiking the trail, you could end up making a stop to stay at Silverwood Lake, and
Oh wow.
that's where I like to go when it's too hot in
wow.
the summertime. I'll take my dog and we'll go to the lake. And
Sure.
I was just there a couple weeks ago, and I did a live stream, and I think I had 1,000 views, maybe 3,000 views of
Damn.
people just coming in and checking us out at the lake. And it was it was fun. The water
Yeah, man.
was nice.
I've never been to this lake. Never. I've been to like Arrowhead, Big Bear Lake, but I've never wandered over here and been to this lake.
Yeah, Silverwood Lake, believe it or not, has a runoff that runs into the aqueduct.
Yeah, over
And
here.
the
it's sort of-
aqueduct crosses the state. And
No way.
yeah, I actually also live a very short distance from the aqueduct. So sometimes when I take my dog for a walk, I'll go to the aqueduct, and my dog loves to swim.
Yo, that's
He'll jump in
awesome,
the
bro.
aqueduct. One time at Silverwood Lake, he took
I love
off. he did a beeline right to the middle of Silverwood Lake. And
Got a
I
little bit
was
too
a little
excited.
scared.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got worried. So
Is
since that
it
day,
boaters
I
and stuff on
keep
the
him
lake?
on a leash. Yeah, there's boats,
That's why.
kayakers,
Yeah.
people fishing.
Dude, that's hilarious. Your dog just books it out there.
He loves the
Got excited.
water. Every
Yeah, sure.
every time I go to the aqueduct, he'll go in the water and he'll stay in there for hours.
That's real funny, man. I didn't even know there was
Yeah,
an
I
aqueduct
probably
attached to this. Interesting.
I probably shouldn't I probably shouldn't say this, but I got jealous a couple times when it was hot of my dog swimming in the aqueduct. So I went down the ladder. I actually went down the ladder and I sat in the water, and it's against the law. You're not supposed to
I
go in
know,
the
I know.
aqueduct.
Bro, it's so hot
But
though. Come on.
the water was nice and it was clear. You
And
know?
clean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's only gets dirty when it's windy. Because up here in the high desert, the wind it'll kick up and it'll get the water with some trash or some dirty, some dust and debris. But when it's nice and calm and there's no wind up here in the high desert, the aqueduct is perfect. But
Dude, this aqueduct is huge. Look at this.
I'll have to say this in case there's like people online. I don't swim in the aqueduct no more. I don't
No,
do
he
it
never
no
did.
more.
He was just joking. Yeah, just joking.
I was just playing.
Yeah. Good stuff, man. Yeah, I honestly never hiked throughout this mountain range, and it looks like it'd be a really fun mountain range to hike. I've been to the Lake Arrowhead and Big Bear area, but I haven't been to the surrounding area at all. I'd really like to check out this. What'd you say it was called? The San Gornio Mountain. This seems like a really nice mountain
Yes.
range. It seems like it's
It
clean.
is.
Also, it's no pollution, no cars you said are allowed. It's awesome. It's just open land.
Yeah. And
I might check
lots
this
of
out.
wildlife.
Oh
A
yeah,
lot of wildlife.
is that right?
Yes.
You know, only a small portion
Just
of
walking on
California
the
that's still
trail.
left. That's a pretty big mountain, also. I honestly never even knew about this mountain. I know about this mountain and these, but the one smack in the middle. Yeah, so I think it's interesting that you said you're in San Bernardino. I can tell you currently, I'm not from out here, but I'm in this area also. I'm in that area also. Originally, I'm from way over here. This is my little crap hole town. Yep, Yosemite
Okay.
Valley. I'm from Simi. All the
I
crazy
got
connotations
family.
associated with this place.
I got family at Huntington Beach in that area.
Yeah, check this out, man.
Are you? Let me
Go
see.
ahead, what were you gonna say? I'll tell you after.
I was just gonna ask like if you play video games a lot, or
Yeah, on my free time when I have time, I do play video games. I play GTA and I also play Warzone.
okay.
Yeah, what do you play? If you play.
Right now there's one game that I play a lot. It's called Tom Clancy's End War.
I know
It
what that
also
game is, but I've
says
never tried it.
it says it's also called End War on Earth. Um, it's not a very popular game, but I like it because you can do voice commands.
Interesting.
Yeah, you can speak into your mic and you can tell troops to do things and they'll do it. You know, you can deploy things by just doing voice commands into the microphone. So it's
What'd you say it
cool.
was called? I'll look it up.
Tom
Tom
Clancy's
Clancy?
End War. Yeah, it's been
End
out for
War.
a long time.
I'm gonna check it out.
Okay, I gotta get delivery.
Yeah, for sure, man. Go
I'll
ahead,
be
do your
back.
thing. Do your thing, do your thing. Anybody that may be watching, what's up, y'all? I appreciate you guys joining in on this bit of combo. I'm assuming this dude's a California native. Two California natives. What's considered now native, huh? I know if I were to tell one of the Native Americans I'm California native, they'd probably lose their little lid. Yep. It's an interesting life, people. I don't know how this is even listed. Check this out, person that just joined this live stream. Check out this sodium reactor. Type in SRE sodium reactor experiment 1957. and you'll be brought upon something that you never even knew happened in California. Most people know this, don't even know that this happened in the state. If you're from the area, you know, obviously, but yeah, man. You want to hear something interesting about this area? I grew up in this
Yeah.
area my whole life. Uh, when I was young, and I mean when I was like still in elementary school, one thing that we got to deal with in my town was listening. And I mean, it would rock throughout this whole valley. It was so loud. We'd get to listen to rockets being tested in the mountain range. Literal rockets, like that they claim send the satellites and everything up. The boosters.
Yeah.
They test the boosters up here. So the I don't know if you've ever heard a live launch, but the boosters are so loud. It was such an awesome experience hearing this. And I have a couple of people that are my age that also recall this, but along the course of me switching into middle school, they stopped testing the rockets up there. So if you got to hear the rockets, you got to hear them. If not, you didn't. But this mountaintop is a very interesting mountaintop. I don't know if you've ever heard of the Santa Susana Field Lab. You ever heard of that?
No, I never heard of that. No.
Most people haven't. So, I mean, think about this. This is the town right here. This is the developed town. Can you see this? This is the town right here. All this. Right here. Just right
Okay.
there. That's the facility where we tried to. This is America's biggest nuclear accident that's ever happened in history. And I think they said it could have been bigger than Chernobyl, but they managed to, I quote unquote, contain it. What they did once this reactor started acting up is they look at this. So I'll show you where the sodium reactor's at. It's on this mountaintop. Hold on. But what happened basically is the experiment went wrong. The reactor started acting up, and this is all government owned. So what they did was they literally vented out all the radiation into the surrounding mountains. So all of this mountain is covered with radiation, and a lot of these people up here have cancer. My family, my grandmama had cancer. My papa, that accident, brain aneurysm, and I believe it's all stemming from this right here, this reactor. And not a soul knows about this facility. But if you look up Santa Susana Field Lab nuclear meltdown, oh my gosh, you're going to be amazed at what you see. And yeah, it's right here. This is the whole mountaintop. This is the whole mountaintop. And you can go right up to the front of the gate. And I don't know if you hear you hear them. They're called DUMBs, Deep Underground Military Bases. This is one of them. This is one of them, and they don't advertise it as such. And I don't care who hears me say it, but yeah, this is definitely one of them. So they own the whole mountaintop here. This whole mountaintop they own, and there's just a couple of buildings right here, but this whole thing goes underground, and they have a whole bunch of fresh water flowing into it. But the whole everything, all the surrounding area, man, everything surrounding this, cancer country, high cancer rates, and for people who still live there, I don't know how they're living in a healthy condition. But people right here also, just in the town right next to it. Okay, now watch this. What do you think about this? Let me see if I can. I'll even pull my camera off to zoom in a bit more. Look at this. So, this is the field lab, right? This is where the nuclear reaction happened. Look at what they've gone and done. How is this legal? They've gone and constructed, right there, brand new homes. Brand new homes, and I've been here. I walked up this trail. Look at this. Look at this trail. Boom. We come here. Boom. And there's the field lab right there. Now, these people who bought these homes, I've talked to some of them. They don't even know that this facility exists and what it is, or that it had a huge nuclear reaction meltdown. But these people paid $500,000-$600,000 for their homes, not even knowing or understanding that in 10 years you're going to have cancer and your family member's going to be sick. And this has been
crazy.
This has been going in court for a long time, but because the government does not want to lay responsibility or have to pay anybody out, it just gets pushed out and gets pushed out and gets pushed out, and nobody's ever held liable. And this property has transferred ownership like 4 times. Boeing owns it right now. Before it was owned by, I think, North American, and before that Lockheed. And yeah.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. So
That
Boeing
is
owns it right
crazy,
now, and
man.
God knows what they're doing with it. I know, right? So, have you seen the sentiment that I share on my channel? Some of what's being built in our country potentially. Okay, look at this.
I've seen your videos.
Okay, so next time I go out here, I'm gonna take you guys to this facility, and this was a government-owned factory. They scrapped this whole factory, took everything from it. Right now it's an empty lot. It's an empty lot with one security guard on it. Let me see if I can pull it up here. I'm trying to conceptualize where this is at. Okay, so along with this vacant lot, let me just type it in. Let me pull this up on. Along with the vacant lot guarding the security, one thing that they have done is they've, and this is where I think it becomes red flaggish. What the hell is it called? Oh my gosh. Oh. I think where it becomes red flag for me is that, okay, so here we go. This is in the middle of the city. Around here are all apartments, and they're brand new apartments. They're stuffing them up. Now right here, this huge lot. This lot was nothing but factory equipment, heavy machinery that the government used, and it was owned by Lockheed, and I don't know what they were doing there. But either way, they scrapped everything, and it's gone. Now, brother, look at this. Within the past 5-6 years, something called, maybe it was maybe a little bit longer, within the past 10 years, something called an orange line was built. Now, this orange line, this is it right here. This is it, this shape. This stretches from one side of the valley, I mean, really, from one side of the valley, all the way to the other side. And it just so happens that, where'd it go? Both of those, I'll type it in again. It just so happens that that orange line that stretches from valley to valley, it stops. It stops right there. You see this? Boom. You'll walk right across the street and you're in the lot. Now, I know people don't have their minds shifted in this manner, but once my mind and once I saw what was taking place in our country, I have a much different lens I'm looking through when I walk about my land. And when I saw this peaked the biggest red flag to me. And I'm telling you, I think it's probably going to happen like in 10-15 years if our country doesn't wake up. But the camps are being built. They're already built some, and when I have this, an empty lot that's being guarded, you're not allowed to go onto, or even, you can't, there's a guard, somebody's guarding it. I have a really big red flag for this. And you can see this was owned by Rocketdyne. This was owned by Rocketdyne Driveway.
Yeah.
So the government owned it. It's under their possession still, and who knows what their plan is. But this whole area is being made poor. This whole area is being made poor right now, and nobody's realizing it. But check this out. I mean, just really right here, Richie's. This is all the Richie's in the community. And the orange line, it stretches from one side of the valley to the other, but it stops, and there's like a huge break. There's a huge break right here, because right at this break, it's all, again, the mountain houses. And when you think about the layout like that, I think it just becomes a little odd. Red flags through and through.
Yep.
Yeah. Just something to keep an eye on. Yeah, man. It does make me nervous.
That's in your area, right?
Yeah.
It's close to you, yeah.
Well, it was. I'm not out here anymore.
Oh.
Actually, yeah, because of this pressing economic situation that took place, it took me out of my hometown. And it actually brought me a little closer to where you're at. So I'm out in this area right now also. I'm not too far away from you. Yeah. It's an interesting life, man. Honestly, I need to get the hell back out to that area. Or really, just out of California. I want to be on a plot of land. Just chilling, doing my thing. Growing some fruits and vegetables and minding my business further. I think I showed you a lemon plant. Yeah, man, basically. That sounds like life to me. Maybe not for others, but for me, I like it. Look at this, hold on.
Yeah, what do you mean lemon plant?
What
I know
happened?
they make lemon trees. Is it a lemon plant or a lemon tree?
What do you mean?
Oh, I thought you said you wanted to show me, you were
Oh,
gonna
yeah,
show
I was
me
going
a
to.
lemon-
I showed you those little plants outside that I had. Check this out. I'll show you this one too. These are those ghost peppers. I've sprouted so many of these and I've killed so many that I'm hoping these take. These are little ghost peppers. So in a few months, in our California beaten sun, hopefully they'll produce some spicy peppers. I've maybe killed like so many seeds, I don't know. See this little thing? 3D printed, oh yeah, look at that.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, look at that little thing, man. I think it's pretty cool. Seed well.
Have you ever had a ghost pepper before?
Never. Never.
I've only heard stories about those.
I've been watching. Hold on. Yeah, I've been seeing all these ghost pepper challenges on the internet, and with having that freeze drying machine, I told myself, hey, that's a little bit of a creative way to make a quick buck, and I'll give people what they want. I'll give them ghost peppers, I'll powder them up for them, and they can do whatever the hell they want with them. Powdered ghost pepper. I haven't seen that yet. Yeah, man, I have a. My mind works in a very particular way, and I'm not out here trying to screw people for money, and I'm not really out here focused on money. I'm just trying to. I don't. I'll be honest with you. Right now in my life, my mind is shifting into many different directions. With my focus on God, I feel like He's bringing forth to me a much different mindset and appropriating my focus. And I'm telling you, I have you guys in mind all the time. I see what's going on in my country. I feel horrible for everybody, and I want to help out.
Hey, can you give me a minute? I gotta help my wife.
Do your thing, bro. You're all good. You're all good, bro. What's up, anybody that may be here? What you up to, people? What you up to? What you up to? Something of worth, I hope. Yes, people. Yes, yes, yes. Lady swerving great as she did.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah, what's up, bro?
Do you have a name that I could call you by? Unless you don't want to tell me.
Yeah, my name's Eddie, man. It's Eddie.
Eddie. Okay.
Yeah. What's your name, bro?
Lloyd.
Oh, it is Lloyd. All right. Yeah, absolute pleasure meeting you, bro. I enjoy talking with you.
So, have you gave it much thought about what that scripture was in the book of Job?
Partially, if you don't mind.
Partially.
Give me another couple days and I'll talk with you about that because I want to let my mind meander on that a bit more. I think I have something
Okay.
formulated that I believe is being spoken on, but let my mind work on that a little bit more. That I
No
formulate my own
problem.
thinking better. Yeah, I like thinking, man. I'm big on thinking. I like taking my time. I think one thing I've realized lately is that I have not put thorough thought sufficiently into past events I'm taking initiative with. I'm just acting.
Hey, there's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with that, man. Nothing wrong.
I'll be honest with you, man. After this whole accident happened with my family, I had to take a lot more responsibility for my livelihood, and I was able to determine how irresponsible I was for my age. Yeah, it's an interesting realization, but I'm thankful I'm here with this mindset, and I don't collapse or fold under the pressure or throw in the towel. We got to get going somehow. There's a lot of people that I've seen when they've come into this mindset, they're down and out, and they're not going to move past it, and I can't, man. I know what my country is. I know the potential that lies here, and I'm willing to take initiative. I think that's the biggest thing. People don't want to take initiative with anything anymore. They just want to receive a handout and expect everything to fall into place for them. That's not life.
I
Give me a
agree.
second here, bro, if you don't mind. Yeah. I know I might sound crazy, but we're fighting nature here. You cannot contract to be kept alive. You have to learn how to sustain yourself and stay alive. Be it through work, be it through tilling the soil. It doesn't make a difference. Nobody's in a mindset where they're looking to produce or sustain themselves at all. Everybody's just trying to get to work so I can eat tomorrow, and that's all that is on their mind. And I'll say again, what does God tell us? I don't eat on bread alone, but all the words that proceed from the mouth of God. Yeah, that's food, people. Turn your attention to God, that you may be fed appropriately. That's my thinking, man. Give me a moment.
That actually reminded me a little bit about something.
What happened?
What you just said about people in general and living off the word of God, not
Yep.
bread alone,
Yep.
and how you were saying that people sometimes expect handouts, things
Yep.
like that. It kind of reminded me of a proverb
Share, man.
that I read.
You seem pretty
Here
familiar
it
with your
is, right
Bible.
here. Well, I try to be, and the reason that am so familiar is because it was the one time I made an oath to God. My oath was to read the Bible, and it took me a long time to fulfill that oath and finally read it.
Sure.
And I was blessed once I finished that oath. A lot of things came into my life that are good, but what you were just talking about, it reminds me of this. Proverbs chapter 30. Let's see. It's either verse 8 or verse 9. Okay. Verse 8 says, "Remove far from me vanity and lies. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with food convenient for me." Then number 9 is what made me think about it. It says, "Lest I be full and deny thee, and say there is no Lord, or lest I be poor and steal and take the name of God in vain."
Brother.
You know, I've done both those things. I've had I had a real nice house in San Bernardino that was actually my grandma's house, and it got passed down to my dad, and I ended up losing it. I lost the house and I lost everything. So I know that feeling where I had so much that I kind of pushed God away, like, who is the Lord? And, and then I also was poor at one time to where if I wanted something to eat, I had to go steal it. You know, when I was homeless and I had nothing. So I've done both those things. And the point of this verse is give me exactly what I need. Feed me with food convenient for me. Give me what I need daily, basically, is what it's saying.
Can I ask you where in Proverbs that is? I'd like to read that myself.
Chapter 30 in Proverbs.
Yeah, that was actually you put to words the mindset that I seem to go through life with. And I've never read that in the Bible because, God forgive me, I haven't read it through.
Hey, he's patient with us. He's long suffering towards us. He accepts us where we're at and has plans for us and for our future. So I completely understand.
I think one thing I'm really surprised at, I left our meeting time yesterday. Well, we spoke some yesterday. I left that meeting time yesterday incredibly surprised that we had spoken about what we spoke about. I don't come on here with the intent of speaking of the Bible. That's not my intention. I just want to bring my country into the light of anything that's going on around them. And that it would conclude with a Bible study and with the Word of God. That's very interesting. That is incredibly interesting. Yeah, I do
Praise God.
believe everything happens for a reason. I'm not a believer of fate. I don't think things just take place. I believe God has a plan. And this is just my thought, this is my belief. I believe God has a plan. I don't know if you guys have ever written a program, but you can always say in the program, if this doesn't happen, then this. So it has two routes to take. If it takes one route, something's gonna happen. You already know the route it's gonna take. It's programmed. But if it doesn't take that route, then it has to be able to say, I'm gonna do this instead. And in my life, I've been able to believe that's what a relationship with God is. That choice. That choice.
Yep.
That fork in the road. And irregardless of which direction you take, not only is the Lord with you, but He has a plan with whatever route you decide to take. And I think we have free will. Yes, we have free will. Okay, free will somehow has to play into this. Free will with options is what it sounds like. We gotta keep our focus. We gotta keep our focus. Yeah.
I love that. I love how you said that. That is so cool. Let me say something about free will. Okay, free will. Here's an example of free will in the Bible. I'm sure.
Because right now you have no free will. I need my input away.
Okay.
So you need to give up your free will to the left.
Okay, I'll be right there. like literally 10 seconds. I'm gonna tell him this, and I'm not gonna answer it. I'm just gonna show him.
Hi.
This is my
Nice to
wife,
meet you.
Mariah.
Hey there, Mariah. My name's Eddie. Nice to meet you.
His name's Eddie. Yeah, she can't hear you because I got the earphones up.
Oh, my bad.
Is this the guy that
Hey
we think
there.
is from year one?
It's a pleasure to meet you there. Hello there.
Me too.
My name's Eddie. I've been speaking with your husband here for a little bit. It's an absolute pleasure.
Hi, Eddie.
Yo, look at that guy. Look at him.
Yeah, he's a big, very big boy for his
I
age.
appreciate you letting me have your husband's time. Thank you, thank you.
No worries.
Okay, so
Dude,
I'll,
that voice
I'll
is
be
familiar.
I'll be right there.
That voice is familiar.
He's got a familiar voice.
Yes.
Yes.
You see, man, I'm telling you, everybody says it.
I'm telling you, I know it's not. It's
Hey, what are you doing, dog?
Zombieland. Zombieland.
No.
That's what
Zombieland.
everybody says. Yep.
Yes, he's from
I said it.
Zombieland.
No,
Jesse Eisenberg.
no, he's not.
Prove it.
He showed pictures of himself.
Oh,
I just saw pictures of him and his dog.
Because that sounds like Zombieland.
No.
And he's my favorite person in the whole wide world. The one from Zombieland. Not really in the one from year one. He's a little
No.
weird, but not unless
Yeah,
he
my
is the one
silhouette
from
is
year
definitely not that of Eisenberg.
one. I know that voice. I don't care. Nope. Nope.
He already said no.
Nope.
That's hilarious, y'all.
Okay.
To me, it's gonna be his nickname.
Here's a quick glimpse of free will. You know the
Sure.
story about Joseph and Mary.
No, I do not.
Oh, come on. Joseph and Mary, the story of the Virgin Mary giving birth to Jesus?
Maybe I'm forgetting something. Or maybe I'm familiar with the story and thinking it's something else. But can you share it?
Yes. Joseph was going to marry Mary.
Oh, I know
They
the
were gonna
story.
get
Yes,
married.
yes. Okay.
Yeah, and have children.
Yeah.
But something unexpected happened. She became pregnant.
And he felt betrayed.
Yes, like most
Yeah.
men would be, right? All of a sudden,
Of
this woman's
course.
pregnant. Okay,
The
so
worst
he
gift in
made
the
up.
world.
He made up his mind, which means free will. He made a choice and a decision. And in the scripture, it says that he made up his mind to put Mary away. Now, it goes to suggest that he was going to marry her and then put her away, like divorce her or just put her away because of this shame.
Sure.
But something happened. Something happened to his free will. Overnight, he was visited by an angel, and the angel said, "Don't put her away. The child that is in her is a child of God or from God." So, what I'm trying to suggest is, yes, we do have free will, but God's will can supersede man's will. That's why when you said we have free will with options, that's what it made me think of. Yes, we have free will, without a shadow of a doubt. We are not robots, but God can change people's mind or decisions
Yeah.
and their will.
God's course of action will be done. God's will be done, irregardless of anything that may be. His will be. And this is where I get confused with free will sometimes, to be honest with you. But that's why I like to think of it as, and I believe we are a very specific creation made in the image of God. But when I can compare our creation to creating that of a program, like I'm saying, this having routes to take, you have to program like that, or the program breaks. If you don't give it an ulterior mode, like, okay, if you don't do this, this happens. If you don't give it that option, the program's not going to run swiftly. You might have a problem. So this is where I've come to understand myself that these paths are almost created. They're like created paths that you get to make the choice on. Yeah, if you people play video
Right.
games, one feature video games have now is when you're going through a storyline, you can choose a couple options, and depending on the option you choose, it's basically going to play out a different storyline in your direction, based on the course of action you take. So you can have like 3 different game versions take place because of the choices you made. So you have free will, but within bounds. I feel it's an interesting thing.
I agree. I might lose connection because I'm outside, so I
My dude, you
apologize.
seem busy. Why don't you go do your thing? Hit me up
Okay.
later on, or I'll catch you later.
All right.
Yeah, absolute pleasure
I'll talk
talking
to
with
you
you today, Brody. Later, man.
Later.
I don't know how to turn off the. I'm probably.
Shh. Black hair.
So actors die all the time.
He sounds just like him. I mean, that's white. Shh. Black hair.
So actors die all the time.
He sounds just like him. I mean, that's white. Shh. Black hair.
So actors die all the time.
He sounds just like him. I mean, that's white. Kids